And then, okay. So we're on live and Mumsy's texting me at the same time. It's like, give me a
Nice.
second. Uh, okay. Upcoming, blah, 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 blah. Live. Did it show us live yet? 19 seconds ago. All right, let's see if I can do it. Share, copy link. And all of this is good for YouTube. Okay,
Everything's good for
here
YouTube.
we go. All right. Yeah, she thought she hadn't watched the latest Nancy one, so she thought she might watch that one. But anyway,
Oh,
I think she's gonna watch us now if she clicks the
oh.
link, right? Um,
Well, yeah. Otherwise,
yeah,
you'll be watching the repeats.
it's right. Yes. So how are you doing this week? I know we already talked before we went
Yes.
live. Yeah, I'm doing
Yeah.
fine. I'm
We're still
working
good.
more. Eddie and I are
Working
good.
more.
I did
Yeah.
the updates.
Yeah. Check, check, and check.
Check,
All
check,
good.
check. Yes, all good.
Mhm. Yeah. For me, just busy. Making a couple of websites. Doing one for a client now who. It's difficult when people don't know what to really give you and they think this is what they're going to give you,
Yeah,
especially when they give you an image and they use their cell phone or their mobile, yeah, their cell phone,
right.
and screen capture it and send you that and say, here you go, here's a picture, and it's like 12K, which is small when
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're
usually you
like,
want
yeah, you
something like
can't.
two or 300 at
Right, right,
least, if
right,
not 1 or 2 megabytes,
right, right,
because I can downgrade, I can't upgrade that
right.
well. Um, and it's like, yeah, well, just give you an idea. I got a 1 inch square with your profile picture in it, which looks great, but the square I want to put it in is like 5 inches square. So if I blow it
Right.
up, you
You
become
can't make
rather
it bigger.
pixelated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, and she said, "Oh, here's something," and I said, "That's weird." Then I suddenly looked at it, and because she did a screen clip from the website, which she works for a beauty company.
Oh,
So
okay.
she has her own landing page as
Oh,
such on
gotcha.
the web company website. So
Right.
she's been there and sending me screen clips. Well, because of it's a cell phone, you've got the image and it cuts off like
Oh,
the corner of the O and the
oh
the
gosh.
the D's. So you probably wouldn't see it,
Hmm.
but because I see the details, I look, we can't use that. That's absolute rubbish. And then I go to the main website and I'm trying to find the same pictures that she sent me
Yeah.
and realize, oh, it's only like 3,000 products and 400 pages to sift through. And it's like, and I have no idea what she sent me because it's not even linked to her. So just send
Oh
me the
gosh.
link of what you want.
Yeah, yeah,
That's like
yeah.
easier.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
so yeah, it's something that should have been a small job. It's
Yes.
turned into a more complex job, and now it's a
Yes.
complex job. I'm making sure it is a good job done.
Good.
So
Hmm.
I'm going the extra miles to make sure it's done. But
Right.
then all the other things I should be doing
Right.
are filtering up. So this weekend, because there's no Formula One, I'm having a work end,
Oh, okay.
just to give you an
Gotcha.
idea. So I'll have to catch up.
How exciting. I
It
bet you
is, yeah.
I bet you wish there was Formula One.
I do, because I wouldn't
Yes.
be sat here so much, but I'm glad
I
that it's
know.
not because it means I can get.
That's
It's a
true.
bit of a catch-22, isn't it? Like,
Yeah,
oh, well, I'm
yeah.
not going to miss anything, so let me get on and do the
Right.
work.
But yeah, but now you don't have an excuse to not do work.
No, and even if someone said, let's go out for a lunch, it's like, do we have to?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, I haven't even got time to do that.
Right.
It's going to be a full work week.
Gotcha. Well, do you have any royal news that's made its way to you through your regular work or
Through my
outside of your
regular
work?
work,
Well, I did mean
no.
throughout your days when you're doing what you do.
Yeah.
Has anything sifted down to you?
Well, occasionally when I open up the browser, I always see there's something about Meghan and Harry around or Andrew. I saw Oprah Winfrey now. Is it Oprah Winfrey? Yes, Oprah now.
Mhm. Where they were on the big interview?
Yes,
Yes. Uh-huh.
where I'm not sure if this is just clickbait material, but where she's basically saying that Megan was really like lied through her teeth on everything.
Oh, really?
which most of it was fabricated. In other words, probably the lack of consistency is probably the
Sure,
word of what they're trying to dig out of that. But of course, for clickbait, oh, she lied
sure.
on everything.
Right, right.
Um, so I've seen that, and I see that Prince Harry is sued for defamation by
Yep.
Sensible, the
Oh,
charity.
yeah, yeah. Because that's the one, what, Centibale, I think is how they say it.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah,
So, because that's the one that he started up, right? And essentially got
hmm
sort of felt like he was forced to leave or whatever
yeah. But to think that they're suing him is like, ooh, that's not
because he's saying,
good
yeah,
publicity.
because he's talking trash like he always does. Except they're
Yeah.
not gonna let him get away with it the way the royal family can has to.
Well, no, I was going to say they got plenty of money, whether the royal family or not.
Right, right.
So, yeah.
So
Um,
might as well go after him. The only royal report that there was this week, it was a short one and it was interesting because
hmm,
interesting is an odd. So they had used, I believe they said they used Hootsuite to create some kind
hmm,
of basically report over the last year, like by grabbing all of the mentions of different royals, right? And like tallying
hmm,
up basically how many posts mentioned this person, how many posts mentioned that person, how many were
hmm,
considered good, how many were considered bad, right? And
yeah,
he notes that it's like it's not a perfect process because there may be something that the software considers bad, but really overall it was something good, but it's too nuanced, right? Like
hmm,
to get that. So um what was odd was that, and Jack thought this was very odd, was when stuff goes went down with Andrew, like in October, when he first gave his little, official statement about how, he's honorable and going to get rid of his titles or whatever, right? Um, doing it for the family and this and that.
hmm.
Uh, Prince William's like likability online went down with it. And then once Charles took the prince away from Andrew, then William's likability went back up. And what was strange is like he's just saying he's like, because everybody in general is giving, or at least in his circles, right? It's like people are trying to give William more credit about wanting to take care of the Andrew situation than his father, but like Charles' numbers weren't hurting the same way when Andrew was doing his shenanigans. So it was sort of like that's an odd, I don't know, correlation. I guess I don't know if it's for sure
There is
exactly
a
related, but he was drawing that.
hmm,
Yeah.
conclusion,
Yes.
and I thinking back over the weeks and months where some of these stories have come, a lot of it is being portrayed that William is like trying to take power and trying to take
Oh,
over to
right.
be the king and all the rest of it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, in a negative way,
Right.
he's been the one that said, um, I'm trying to think what it was. There was some kind of
Yeah.
legal thing. If we have to do it legally, oh yeah, that
Right.
was it. I'm trying to think what it was
Mhm.
where they were going to reduce the size of
Oh,
the
like
family.
the main, yeah,
Yeah, but
the
there was
main
also
royals.
something where instead of kicking up a shindig, he just went through the legal process. And I'm trying to
Oh,
think what
okay.
this was a couple of months
Oh gosh.
ago.
Yeah.
Um, what was it? There was something he
I
was
can't
doing,
remember.
and instead of like blurting out, well, whatever, well,
Yeah, yeah.
legally we can do this and we'll just change the rules. And I
Right,
don't know if it
right.
was like for Meghan and Harry to come back. I don't think it was that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what it was now, but
Hmm.
because he had, I think it was to reorganize the royal family. So
Yeah.
he'd taken the same strategy of the king and queen of Sweden, I think,
Uh-huh.
and the way that they did it, and he's like
Okay.
implementing the same rules.
Okay.
Now, that in one sense is a very 50-50 opinionated. It's like, well, how dare he try and
Right.
resize the family when he's not
Right.
king yet?
Right.
He's
Right.
he's positioned himself when with the power when he is king. Now
Yes,
that is a very 50-50 in public
very.
opinion. It's like, well, wait until your father's dead before you
Right. It's
start
like he just got
making
there.
plans.
And yeah, and
Hmm.
it's like he just got there and he has cancer. But then you can also argue, like, well, maybe Charles wants him to step up a little bit more to help carry
Yes.
the weight, right? Like, because
Yeah.
he is older and, has cancer. Um,
Yeah.
but
And he needs somebody to be ready to take over,
right,
maybe suddenly,
right, right.
because to be fair, I don't think Charles has got another 25 years in him.
You know, I mean, yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I mean, Philip, my gosh, he made it to what,
Yeah.
100? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
just shy of 101, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I don't want to be disrespectful to,
Oh, I know.
saying
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
but when you think of the age at which he came king
Yeah.
compared to his mum, it was
Sure.
pretty safe to say that mum was going to have a good 40, 50, 60
For
years
sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
at being queen.
Right.
Charles, on the other hand, could only think of the at best half of
That's what I was
that.
gonna say. Yeah, yeah. At most, like 25. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably
But she's only 30%. She was on the throne for what, 70, 80 years or
seven,
whatever?
75,
78?
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's done 75 because
Well,
that
I
was
know
like
he
the
did
year before.
75, but I feel like, yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll have to double check it.
Yeah. But by that in its
Yeah.
sense, because of now, and I think people are seeing this, that there are too many leaders in the world that are just way too old to really be taking a powerful position.
Yeah.
We've heard it from the past president, we were hearing it from the current president.
Hmm.
We're hearing, in one sense, that King is old and he's got ailing issues and what have
Right.
you.
Right.
And I think the general consensus is that we're pointing out all the old people that are in control.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
They are.
maybe we need a fresher, younger blood to be there. And
Right.
again, if you're not prepared, if you don't take your driving test, you're not going to be able to drive the car
Right.
when you
Right.
ready to drive it, are you?
Right.
You've got to
And
prepare, you've got to practice.
right. And perhaps Charles is not so I don't know, possessive of the role, right? So he might
Yeah.
be fine with William taking on some of it and being
Hmm.
prepared. Uh
Yeah.
yeah. So unlike, it's like the Queen wouldn't have wanted Charles or anybody to like
Interfering.
to step
Yeah.
up early. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I think, yeah, with William, yeah, or Charles seems a little more relaxed, I guess, you know.
I'd say that.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I've noticed, I think the public opinion of Charles, like you say, has been relatively consistent. I think when he
Hmm.
first started, there was a belief that, oh, we don't know how well he's going to do. And it
Yeah.
kind of started off, let's say, 50% like and dislike, and it went to
Right.
60 and 10, then it dropped a little bit. But in general, over the years, it's been a progression
Hmm.
increase of popularity and likeness.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, then saying that, and this might be because you and I are not really tuned into what's
Yeah.
happening over in the UK
Sure.
directly, because um, I haven't seen him doing many things. I know he's coming out to meet the president. Is it later this month?
Yeah, I haven't paid attention to what day. I know it's coming. I know
Yeah,
it's on the calendar,
it's coming.
on
So
his
he'll
calendar.
be there.
Yeah.
Now, diplomatically, I'm sure he's not going to mention about the war
No.
because this is the point of like, I'm the king of the country. I'm not the prime minister. You got a
Right,
beef with my
right,
prime minister. You talk to him.
right, right,
Um, because he can't get involved with that, but he can show his disapproval, or
right,
he can say, we've been good allies for a long period of time. It should not be thrown away on the case
right,
of one conversation. In
right,
other
right,
words, remember the old times as well as the future to move forward.
right.
Um, I
And
think he's very much like his mum in very being diplomatic in
yes, he's
saying
good.
things like that.
Hmm. Yeah, I think he's good with that. That's so I was gonna bring up something that's uh not exactly royal related, but I guess it
Mm,
sort of is based on what we're talking about. So, um, Piper was asking me in the car today. So she's been aware of like, uh, she President Trump, and like from mine and her dad and stepmom's side, we're not fans. They're
okay.
really not fans. So they
Yeah.
participated in like No King's Day and stuff, and Piper's been part of that. And
Ah,
so the interesting, so my point to I guess to bring up is trying to explain, because
mm,
these were great questions.
yeah.
Trying to explain how people, two different people can see the same person in completely opposite ways. So, because to her, she's
Mm,
like, well, if Trump is such a bad guy, why does anybody like him? I'm like, well, because they don't think he is. Like, they get different news, they listen to things differently. I was like, and we get different news, right? Like, we listen a certain way. Um, so yeah, I was trying to explain like, but just remember that like there's other things that connect us to people. So it's
mhm,
not that one thing that like,
yeah.
you have to hold everything against them if you
Yeah.
disagree on that.
Yeah. This is difficult thing for most people to understand. It's like
Hmm.
just because I don't like you this week, Amy, doesn't mean that in general I don't like you. So we can still remain friendly,
Right,
and your friendship kind of gets, let's say, really close, and then it separates a little bit. But
right.
all friendships kind of have this
Sure.
oscillating of closeness and a little bit of distance, and
Hmm.
sometimes it can you can get a great big wedge in between.
Right.
But you add up basically over the period of time and say, well, do things still align with us? Should we dismiss just on the basis of one statement or one action?
Right.
Generally, I think we've been taught to, look at the long term,
Hmm.
where today's society is. Oh, you're a member of the Green Party. I don't like Green. Delete from my social media. Delete from this. I'm no
Yeah,
longer
yeah,
going to
yeah.
talk to anybody that associates
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
Green. Um, and that seems to be the trend, which I think for people probably over the age of 30,
Hmm.
just find it. How? Why? What's the matter with you?
You just,
There's a relationship going on. But then everybody under 30 have a relationship of themselves,
hmm,
who talk to themselves, who don't like talking to people, who don't like having relationships. Everything's done through a little screen,
hmm.
basically, all communication and what have you.
Right,
So there's no emotional attachment to deleting somebody
right.
because you
That's true.
don't have to see them every day.
Right.
Like you're going into work 6 months ago, it'd
Yeah.
be very easy to fall out with one of that. So I only see them for one day a week or two
Right.
days a week.
Right.
Now you're seeing them out of a working week 70, 80% of the time. It's like,
Right.
now I have to mind my P's and Q's a little bit because
Right.
I got to come back again tomorrow
Right.
and the next day. Then I get a day off. Then I'm back again for 4 more days. And if it hasn't cleared in the first 4 days, oh boy. So
Right.
you have to plan your revenge or your
Right. Or
dislikes or
yeah,
your
yeah. Or like
friendship.
your little protest or silent treatment.
Hmm.
Like, it's you're right. It's way easier to uh just block people or unfriend them or whatever if you don't like what they're saying and doing. And I mean, I've done it for certain things if it really annoys me, but it's
Yeah.
never been a close friend. It's been like, why are we
Yes.
friends anyway
Yeah.
on Facebook? I don't know who you are.
Hmm.
But
Yeah. It's like somebody you networked with and you've had four
right,
conversations in 4 years. It's like, are you
exactly.
really
It was like
friends?
I don't,
I've
yeah,
never seen you any other time apart from networking.
yeah, yeah. So nope. But uh yeah, but it's so hard though to explain uh, how people think a different thing. What?
Mm.
Okay. Um, but to explain to a kid, and she also was like, why aren't we allowed to talk about it at school? And it's like, well, you're not supposed to talk about politics, and lots of groups of people, even grown-ups, have to be careful because you might upset people. You could start a fight, people's feelings could get hurt, you know. And I said, in at school, I was like, you probably have some friends at school that their parents are on the other side, and so they're gonna know what their parents say, and you know what your parents say, and like now you guys are just getting upset repeating like other people's opinions, right?
Well, you're getting upset because your parents get upset by the comments of the other.
Right.
And I think this is a bad, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think it's bad to say to children at school, you cannot talk about it. I think it
Hmm.
should be encouraged because then you're learning the skill of listening to other point of view
That's true.
and then to validate how well that impacts you, not the other people that are close to you.
Right.
So you form an opinion because I think the biggest problem we have today is that when people talk about the wake movement,
Hmm.
there are so many people shouting loud enough that they ask questions, but they don't pause to listen for an answer or a
Sure.
response. They keep shooting them down. And then when you give them some logic, they have no defense because they have no ground or factual basis to retaliate. It's just hearsay, 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 and
Right.
hearsay.
Right.
And you don't manage a debate. You just say, well, in that case, you're wrong, you're ignorant, and therefore you're racist and all
Right.
the rest of
Right.
the things,
Right.
and
Yeah.
you're deleted.
So that's a really good point. Yeah. I wonder like that they should talk about it in school, or at least not be told that they can't, right? Because you're right. It's like they're
Yeah,
just gonna create more of us and the royal we.
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
The older generation, they're just gonna create more of that if they have the if the kids grow up like, well, I can't talk about it because they feel the opposite, and it's gonna start like then we can't be friends. Like once it's
Yeah,
taught. So I mean, I guess it's always the thing is like you're not supposed to talk about what is it? Politics or religion. Is there a third thing you're not supposed to
yeah.
talk about? Or just politics or
Sex,
religion?
maybe.
Oh, probably. Yeah. But it's like if you could though, like
Yeah,
it might be better off, and maybe religions would be more tolerant or understanding or whatever, right? Yes, Peanut?
yeah.
Yeah, just be careful going over there. All right, thank you. Oh, okay. Just but don't go to the beach. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. We we have a little neighborhood beach. So as far as me telling her don't go to the beach, it's because it's walking
Right,
distance.
right. Okay, I'm thinking. I didn't
It's
know
a
we were
lake. Yeah,
that
it's a
close to the
lake
beach.
beach. Yeah, yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
okay, I was thinking,
Yeah,
did you
you're like,
move and you
is
didn't tell
she?
me?
Yeah, you're like, is she like 16 already? And you're like, don't drive to the beach. You can't go that far.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um, yeah, but so that's interesting. So if they were to talk about, if we didn't have that rule about not talking religion or politics in polite society, right?
yeah.
Like, because we're not good at being polite society anymore. Like, we're just
Yeah,
now we're an
that's the
impolite,
problem, isn't it?
angry society, right? So like it didn't,
Yeah,
yeah, we didn't stick to the to part of it.
yeah. And all we're doing is just growing that sensation even stronger
Right,
to
right.
avoid. And children are sponges. They're able to
Hmm.
form opinions. They're able to learn, and they have to learn right from wrong,
Right,
good and bad, left, right views, right wing views,
right,
religious views of this, Muslim versus Catholic, and
right.
Jews versus I don't know something else.
Yeah,
If you can't defend something if you don't understand what the other one's about.
right. Hmm.
And school's about education, about learning.
Right,
And I'm thinking if you got to the point where you can't talk about it, okay, obviously if it's in the school playground, you can't, they're going to talk about it anyhow, so it makes no difference.
right.
But the teacher should be there and say, right, we're going to have a structured conversation and come up with facts of
Hmm.
both sides that
Right.
are appear to be attractive and facts that are wrong for both sides and put
Sure.
say, here are five good, five bad, and five good.
Yeah.
And now, as a classroom, depending on what your parents think, as
Right.
you as an individual, which ones of these do you think are, you agree with being good and bad, and this one?
Right.
And if you were to pick a side,
Yeah.
which one do you think you would give your 51% loyalty to as opposed to your 49%
Right,
loyalty?
right.
I'm not saying you have to be 100% this or
Sure.
100% that,
Yeah, yeah,
but if
yeah.
you had
But
to
which one
just
do you
feel
lean more
which side of the
towards?
fence towards.
Yeah,
And I think that would be a very good
that would be good.
exercise
That would be
to
good.
give the chance that they can form an opinion.
Right,
And when they
right,
get back home, maybe it's like saying, Mum, Dad, had you realized that this other party, their belief is that this is true, but we do it like this? Why is there a big contrast on this?
right.
Why are both people believe that they're right when they're complete opposites?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that would actually teach all of us to actually listen and think, well, the valid point. The problem is when you get people that are so dumb that they can't answer general
Yes.
questions or give it an actual
Yeah.
factual
Or
response.
I'd say also, or they are so angry that they can't
Hmm.
calm down enough to talk about it. They cough,
Yeah.
cough, my dad. So like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, if you're so upset about it, so like, because part of the problem, like, so what I was trying to point out to Piper too was like, remember that you're still connected in other way. Like, you still might be friends with this person, you like them. So I started giving her examples of people that she knows in my life that do happen to like Trump, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, but you wouldn't know it, right? Or like, there's other things, and she's like, but why would they do that? So I'm like, well, so and so has this job, they make this amount of money. Like,
Yeah.
in my opinion, this is
Hmm.
why they vote, because she's like, but if he starts wars, why would they vote for him? And it's like, well, because that's
Yeah.
maybe not the point that they're voting, that's not the point that they like about him, and they're willing
Yeah.
to overlook that one. So I was like, don't, it's like you have to keep the humanity in them, and like,
Yeah.
don't other them, which is
Hmm.
exactly what my dad does. He others everybody,
Yeah.
but yes, he others. uh
Yeah.
yeah, and then blames. It's very much like I mean, both sides do it, of the angry people, right? Where it's like,
Yes.
well, we wouldn't be like this if they didn't do that first. It's like
Mhm.
they're the bad ones that started it. Like, I just have
That's
to
by
do it.
50% of the opinion.
Yeah, and it's
50%
like,
of the opinion is they're wrong, so therefore I'm not changing my perspective.
right.
Where if you were in their shoes
Hmm.
and this is your belief, do you think they did it? Do you think there would have been a different way for them to start the war or to do this?
Right.
And that's the thing when you look at different cultures in
Hmm.
the way they do things, and then you compare it with other countries and cultures, say, well, hang on a minute, the majority of the people do this. And now this is where the big political dilemma comes in.
Hmm.
Should everybody be singing out the same hymn book, the same tune, so they all have the same concept?
Right.
Or should we have everybody that should be allowed to have some individuality?
Hmm.
Um, this has been a world problem forever, especially when you think about the religious side of it.
Sure.
And then you come down to, let's say, the rights of human birth and abortions and
Hmm.
your native homeland. At what
Right.
point are you still a native? And I think a very good question is
Right.
like when you think about, let's say, immigrants to the
Hmm.
country, why is it you gave up your country to come to this country? What are the
Right.
benefits of why you're here?
Hmm.
So are you now rejecting your country? Well, yes, because I want to live here. I want to be
Yeah.
an a citizen of this country.
Right.
Okay. If there was a war
Hmm.
and you still have relatives back at home,
Right.
in which side, if you had to go and fight and
Right.
everybody's going to go and fight in, would you go to the new country or the historical
Right.
heritage country? And that's a big thing. When it comes
Yeah.
to world sports, do you support only the teams of your new home country, or you support the ones from where you came from?
Right.
And that might seem very minor, but that gives you the mindset
Now
of,
that's a good
oh,
point. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
where do you say that you leave one for the other?
Hmm.
But you have to weigh up certain things that are either good or bad. But many people, when they move and transition from one society group to another, they
Hmm.
bring something from the older group and try and infiltrate it or dilute it into the new group.
Mm-hmm.
So the dynamics of the new group you're moving into gets slightly diluted.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we think a society of immigration, that is what's really happening. So
Right.
now you get to the point of, whoa, hang on a minute. We are a nation of XB2s.
Mm-hmm.
We are always going to be an XB2, but now we're XB2 plus A, B, C, D, E, and F, and all the other things that are
Right.
coming in. If we carry on like this, we'll never be an XB2. We're going to be an XF2 or
Right.
something, or
Right. Right.
F3 or something. And at what point do you say, please stop? We are the host nation. We are the originals of this area
Right.
for purpose speaking. We don't want to be diluted with all the other nations.
Right.
Otherwise, we are no longer a nation anymore. We are a mixed pot.
Right.
So if we take any president where they look at immigration,
Mm-hmm.
there is a right way to say send everybody home, but there's also a right way to allow other people to come in.
Yeah. So yeah, but and it's well, it's also tricky because of our American identity, where it's like our whole thing is supposed to be we're a melting pot, right? But it's always been
Yes.
each new group always has, you know, not actually welcomed with like, a warm welcome.
Open arms. Yeah.
So yeah, so it's we're supposed to be this thing. So it's sort of like you said, it's like, well, you you can't say you're this and then just be like, well, never mind. Like we're done with that. Like we don't no. We're gonna stop at this now. And if you do want to do that, fine, but you can't claim that you're like a melting pot anymore. You can say
No.
like we we've developed the way we are because we were a melting pot like 100 years ago or
Yeah.
whatever.
Or for 250 years, you've been
Yeah.
theoretically the land of the free for
Right.
everybody to come to.
Right. Right.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, so yeah, you take the original, you're a melting pot for 250 years, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden, whoa, stop, we're not going to be a melting pot anymore.
Right. Right.
Well, you kind of opened the gates and claimed that you were going to be a melting
Right.
pot. So why change it? And because this is the thing, isn't it? It's
Mm-hmm.
like the UK, when you look at the amount of stereotypical
Mm-hmm.
white English inherited
Yeah.
Britons,
Right.
they are now overpopulated by all the other nations we're allowed to come in. So they are technically a minority group. I think they're down to about that
Right.
48-9% sort of
Oh, okay.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
But
technically, you're a minority group now.
right.
So you can't say this is really the
Right.
homeland.
Well, I feel
But
like
in
yeah.
saying that, those people who've been there for multiple generations that come from
Sure.
the melting pots, they consider themselves to be British too.
Right. Right.
Just that skin and religion and foreign foods and
Right.
cultural ways of doing things have now implemented them into the original cell. So that
Right.
cell now gets slightly hybrid to something else. So it's never original
Right.
bloodline. In the same sense, the bloodline of royal families gets infiltrated with commoners.
Right. Right.
Well, you've diluted the
Sometimes
bloodline.
American actress comedy.
Oh yeah, those two. They
Yeah.
they sometimes
Yeah. Yeah.
infiltrate too.
Or I mean,
Uh,
American Divorcee, Wallace Simpson. I mean, but they didn't have any kids,
yes,
but she still infiltrated.
they're infiltrated. So infiltration goes on across all
Right.
borders and all levels.
Right. And
Is it right or wrong to
right.
include or exclude?
But at what point is it like, well, this is what Americans look like now, or what Americans are going to look like? Like, we aren't all the same as we were before we started the melting pot. Like,
Yeah.
everything changes with time. And so it's just
Mhm.
like trying to, I don't know, hold on to the idea of the past or whatever it is, whatever certain people's
Yeah.
ideals are in their head. It's like they're hanging on to not have change when like there may not actually be anything wrong with the change. It's just that
No,
it makes you
uh,
uncomfortable
it
because
makes you
it's
uncomfortable.
unknown and uncertain.
human nature. We don't, a lot of us don't
We don't
like
like, yeah,
change,
yeah.
you know. Um, and I think when it comes to that level, there has to be, and I think the biggest problem is probably religion.
Hmm.
So if you're moving out of, let's say, a Catholic nation
Right.
into, um, I didn't want to pick a Muslim nation
Yeah.
or a
What,
Protestant,
Buddhist? Yeah.
yeah, Buddhist,
Yeah.
into a Buddhist.
Yeah.
That culture is built on connections to that religion.
Right.
So if you're moving from one country to the other, you should not be bringing your religion with you. Because if you want to be that person
Right.
and the whole country is a different religion, you should
Right.
really be taking on that as well. You
Right.
can't hand pick. Well, I only want to eat the red sweets in the pack
Right.
because I only like strawberries and raspberries. I don't like lemons and oranges.
But
You
I
know,
know, but the religion, it's harder to say though, because people, it's a belief most often tied to some sort of afterlife. So it's like you're not allowed to just switch it up just because you move locations. And maybe
I
everybody
think,
else around you is doing it wrong, but that doesn't mean you, you
but
know.
then if you still believe in that, you should be back in the host nation for that. That is
Yeah, but
part
then
of the
you're
belief, isn't
separating,
it?
yeah, but then you're separating nations by religion. Now you're not letting any religions commingle.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Should
Yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
allow?
Yeah.
But to
But
what level?
right.
And I think this is the problem in the UK they've had, is like France as well. There's so
Hmm.
many Muslims moved in
Right.
that they've taken the stance that if we overpopulate, we become a majority
Oh,
element.
right. Right,
Therefore,
right.
we be recognized.
Right, right,
Now, is that right or wrong to allow that to happen? Because
right.
not saying you can't have your religion,
Sure.
but you can't impose those into the baseline of the fabric of the nation of its legal system.
Right. I would agree with that. Yeah.
That's where I should have probably clarified at the
Okay.
beginning. Yeah. Because to
Right.
change rules of a nation, the fabric of a country
Right.
based on religion,
Right.
because these are the rights that you had from your home nation,
Right.
should not be done. But not saying that you cannot still
Yeah.
practice your religion. You just can't have those legal fabric
Right.
laws that are
But
in your nation to be added to the new host.
so devil's advocate. So I'm trying to think
Hmm.
about it the other
Yeah.
way. So, but what about with time as people
Hmm.
are, growing up in these, different countries, whatever, and they are going into government, like they're going to be making changes in the government anyway, but now maybe because the majority of them are a different way from what it used to be,
Yeah.
now it's gonna, like, the government's gonna catch up with wherever they are at the moment, or as far as they can get it, right? Like,
Yeah.
so again, I don't know if that's, we'll say, right or wrong or whatever, but it's also, it's again with the change thing, right? It's like trying to say that this country needs to be this way because that's the way we identify it, and like, we need more French people or whatever it is, right? Like we need more white French people. There's not enough.
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
and so uh yeah, but it's, again, it's just like, well, it's because it's changing. It's not what it's not what it was, and it's not maybe what you remember, or like, I don't know, for outsiders, I've been to France like one time, right? But it's like, depending on what you picture, you just picture a bunch of like, I don't know, white people in berets and maybe a mime,
Yeah. Yeah. With a
a
bicycle and a
croissant.
set of onions around your neck
Yeah, the
with,
Eiffel
with a scrap
Tower.
t-shirt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, well, and I was gonna say, so with, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming or whatever. Let's just say I'm guessing it works very similarly in any country, but it tends to be that first generation, so whoever moves to the new country, usually is the hardest to change, like will most likely not change their culture
Integrate.
they grew up
Yeah.
with. They won't necessarily learn the language, right? Because
Hmm.
it's their kids that are going to start the transition. And then even,
Yeah.
and by like the third generation, sometimes they don't like, I mean, I'll use Eddie as an example. Eddie can
Hmm.
understand when Spanish is spoken to him. He can't speak it. Like,
Yeah. Hmm.
and like his
Yeah.
mom can speak it perfectly. And she, I think, was second generation. So
Right.
yeah, so it's like by third, and now like his kids, what do they know? Like,
Mm.
so it's again, it's a time thing, and I'm sure like
Right.
little things trickle in from the other, culture, but it's
Hmm.
not 100% by the time it gets, it's not like the freshly moved immigrants are all of the sudden working in the government,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Over a period of 50, 100 years, it
Yeah,
happens. And I
and
think this is where a lot of European countries are seeing this and America is seeing this, that, oh, okay, if we had thought about how to control the change, maybe the narrative would be different.
mhm,
But again, if we don't learn, is it good that we have Spanish food, Japanese food, Indian food easily available
right,
to go and eat anytime we go out? Because, that's a very good cultural
right,
element
hmm,
of bringing another country to you, is bringing
sure,
those types of foods.
right, right,
Or should American food just be all American
right,
and maybe restricted to Americans cooking international food and not
yeah,
the
oh
nationals?
right, yeah, yeah,
Well, it's not going to work that way because
it's not.
Americans eat hamburgers and fries. The
Right,
Brits
right.
eat
It's
fish
like,
and
well,
chips.
I'm saying you'll get Taco Bell. That's what you get.
Yeah, you get Taco Bell, or Starbucks.
Or
They're
Starbucks.
all.
Yeah. So,
But we wouldn't have that variety of choice.
right.
That's one thing you have in America is variety of
That's true.
choice. You
That's
have a
true.
lot of variety and a lot of choice. Maybe too much. Maybe
Right.
that's part of the problem as well, because you have too much choice.
Yeah.
You don't really know what to get, and you don't get the populace all choosing Coca-Cola or Pepsi. Well,
Right.
now it's like,
We're like
well,
doing it's like by regions or whatever,
by
there's like
regions.
little
Yeah.
groups. Yeah. And it's so
So,
easy to use like uh for politicians, or news, whichever whoever wants to use
yeah,
it for their
yeah.
purposes, but to scare people, right? It's like that I'm not saying anything new that like they use scare tactics or, they instill
Mhm.
fear, but it's like yeah, when we talk about immigration and like I'm not whatever educated particularly in it, but it's just like just being able to talk it out and being like, it's not gonna be an immediate thing like that they take over in
Yeah.
government. And
Yeah.
like, so you don't have to be, I mean, I know there's other concerns about like
Hmm.
using resources and this and that, but I think I think most of it is it's a lot of hype and playing on people's emotions and fears.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're only dealing with the scenario of now. Oh, and it's
Yeah.
because of, should we say, misappropriation of resources,
Hmm.
and a lot of people who immigrate to other countries go there because the countries are richer, they have better social systems, so they want to get some of that for themselves.
Right.
That's not the reason why you should be immigrating, because generally
Hmm.
you've now got a set of desirables who want to be there in this
Right.
system, and then they're referred to as the undesirables because they're doing is taking wealth and
Hmm.
resources away from the people that are already there. Because even if they did have a job and they're legitimized, what they tend to do
Hmm.
is send most of that hard-earned money, that I'm
Right.
not saying they don't work, they
Sure.
earn their money, but they send it out of the country back to their
I would see
families in the
sometimes. Yeah.
original.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, I'm here getting all the benefits, but
Right.
I'm not putting my hard-earned cash back into the
Into
system
the
to support
economy.
the system.
Right.
I'm sending it out across the world to my
Right.
home nation or my home family.
Right. But
That you can see the bit of a problem.
I
because what you're trying
see.
to do is
Yeah,
support them with
right,
the resources that everybody else is paying their taxes.
right,
If they don't work, it's even worse. We're
right,
supporting them with lodgings and food and money and cell phones until we
right,
decide whether they can or cannot stay.
right. But yeah,
And then you have the problem of, well, in our country, it's very I'm going to go right to the very edge here. It's very popular for men to maybe date 14-year-old girls.
yeah. What? Jacob's here?
Hey, Piper.
Okay. Hi, Jacob.
So if you think that in some nations, dating a 14-year-old
Right,
girl or taking a 14-year-old as a wife,
right.
now
But
that
yeah,
is very anti-American and very
right. Like it's
anti-European
yeah, it's like you can't bring your 14-year-old wife or come here to find a 14-year-old wife.
wife.
Right.
Now for them, they think, well, this is what that's what I mean. If you're moving from one culture to another, you
Yeah.
have to relinquish something.
Some things, yeah. I don't think you have to
Yeah,
completely lose everything, or
yeah,
let go of everything. But yeah, you can
yeah. If the
mix
law of this
mix and
land says
match.
you cannot date anybody under the age of 18,
Right.
then
And
no matter
that's
how hard you try, if you do, the
right.
consequences are one, you end up in jail, or two, you get exported back to where you originated
Hmm.
from.
Right.
Um, because theoretically, the second generation would have now been installed with the law of the land of where they are and not the historical one.
Right. So, yes. So they would, yeah, grow up thinking like, oh, that's weird. Like, why'd
Yeah.
everybody, I mean,
What
even
before?
like the American, I'll say in American history, like
Mm,
old guys used to marry teenagers all the time, sometimes like 12-year-olds or whatever, marry the 30-year
yeah.
old off to the 12-year-old. So it's
Yeah.
like, and now we look back on that and we're like, what in the world? Like, what were people doing?
They're thinking. Yeah.
So it's,
Well, you've
yeah, it
seen
should,
Downton Abbey and Bridgerton. Well, Downton Abbey is probably the fine one, isn't it? You're seeing
yes,
men in their 70s or 80s
yeah,
getting young women in their early 20s.
yes, yes. And that the women are supposed to be excited that this old
Yeah.
guy has proposed because it's such a good setup
Business relationship.
financially. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching recently, it's called the Foresight Saga. I think it's an older
Foresight or Force or Forsyth.
Force maybe Forsyth Saga. It's like a long one, long dragged out one, because it's a
Uh,
saga, but it's
yeah.
a TV show, and
Mhm.
it follows the same group of people over several years, and they do a good job of aging them from like
Mm.
when they're supposed to look like young adults, and then they end up like
Yeah.
old by the end of it. Um, but there is a part at one point where a mom is trying to explain to her daughter where she's like, you don't you don't marry for love. And she happens to be French, married to an Englishman, and
Okay.
she says the English have, like, you have this silly idea that you have to marry for love. And she's like, that's not what marriage is. She's like, marriage is, like you said, like a business transaction, and like you
Yeah.
guys agree to these terms. She's like, lovers are for love. She's like, then you have your lovers.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
she's like, yeah, and she's like, and that's that. Like, you don't have to have them all combined. Like, so yeah, so it's like, yeah,
Mm.
marry the old guy or older guy, give them the kid that you guys have like contractually agreed to, right? Like, they want a
Yeah.
kid, so okay, I'll give you
Hmm.
the kid, but I didn't promise you like to love you or
To
do
be a
anything
wife.
else. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. See, again, that's if that's the again from the woman's perspective,
right,
who sees that as transactional, there are many women who are going to say, no, no, it's all the other way around.
right,
So again, now you've got a very easy way to have this. Well, hang on a minute, you're wrong. Well, her beliefs are not. So
right,
there's a difficult scenario. So something from that was went very easy has now become very complicated.
right, right,
And I've been watching some YouTube things, and they talk to young women about the difference between men and women, and women think, yeah, well, my ideal man has to earn at least 200,000 a year. He's got to be 6'2", blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
And he says, okay, so and when you rate yourself on appearance, what do you give yourself? Oh, I give myself, I think body is 7, face is 8, average 7.5.
Yeah.
Some just go 10, 10, 10, 9, 9, 10 sort of thing.
Right.
And the guy is hosting it. He won't say he looks an ugly man, or an average
Yeah.
guy that was relatively attractive. He
Hmm.
says, I go at 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. And none of us is perfect. And he said, if I was to rate you, I think at best, I can see that your face is this, blah, 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 a little bit misshaped maybe. I give you a sort of 5 and a 6. And everybody gets a kind of an average rating from the
Interesting.
guy. And
Yeah,
the
yeah,
women
yeah.
are like, oh no, well, and who are your ideal? Oh, they're like famous film stars who are earning millions. And says, but that's less than 1% of the population.
Right.
There is not enough ideal husband material for
Hmm.
you to do this. And they're like in a whole nother platform and universe
Hmm.
in the way that most other women think and talk about having a relationship and the
Right.
idea between a man and what have you. And like, oh my goodness, there are really what you would traditionally call the dumb blonde scenario. Like,
Sure.
really? Because you ask them a simple question like, how many states are there in the US, and
Sure.
when did World War I
Right.
start or two? And they haven't got a clue.
Yeah,
General information, they got no clue.
they want to be the trophy wife or like,
Hmm.
and it's, well, I'll say if that's what they are taught as they're being brought up, that your only
Hmm.
value is your looks, then
Yep.
why are you paying attention to anything else? Like, you don't have to know
Yeah.
stuff because you just
No.
have to make sure that you stay pretty and young looking. That's all they
Yeah.
care about. And like,
That's all it
and
was.
don't, and I mean, old, from olden times, it's like historically, it's like, yeah, don't learn too much because if you sound too smart, you'll like threaten the guy, right? Like, then the men are going to
Yeah.
get worried that they're not
Hmm.
smart enough or that you're going to like take over something.
Yeah.
So, again,
Well, I think
historically, I'm not saying everyone's still
historically,
like that, but
yeah. Well, they asked the questions like, what is it that men offer to society, and what do women offer to society?
yeah.
The
What would they
usual
say?
thing from women is generally things like, we provide babies.
Hmm. Sure.
Okay, we're homemakers. Well, yeah, but then my husband also has to be domesticated.
Right.
And like I said, but men traditionally in society offer things like infrastructure, engineering,
Right.
physical workforce,
Hmm.
protection, security. Can you say if it's equal ground for all that women do this too? No, that's the man's
Right.
job, but then that's not an equal society.
Right. Well, it's like, yeah, I mean, yes, just because we can have babies doesn't mean that what you have to
That's
offer
your
to
only.
society.
No,
Like,
exactly.
you
And
can be a female engineer and like you can help with the
yes,
infrastructure.
yeah,
But
you
I
can. But
get
for
that
them,
if,
it's not,
but if
that's
it's,
not
yeah, a
their place to be.
certain, if it's a certain type of, yes, woman
Mm,
who's been brought up to think a certain way and fell for it, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
then
And 'cause I think
that,
when you strip out that minority there and
yeah,
the top elite and what have
right.
you, I think generally men are more welcoming to have women in society as an equal, let's say, human,
Hmm.
as much as women look at men and say, well, you're an equal human as well. So
Hmm.
as a partnership, we work as a couple at doing things. And the thing about, well, that's a man's job, that's a female's job, gets
Right.
so intermingled. And who is the breadwinner? Who is the
Hmm.
success of the family? I think that stereotypical, oh, the man has to be the breadwinner and the
Right.
wife has to be the trophy wife and all the
Right.
rest of it,
Right.
it's kind of long gone
It's,
through the last 50 or 60 years,
I feel
because
like
women have had the right to be out in the
it's,
workplace. And
yeah, it's gone well, but it's not extinct. Or
no, it's not
there aren't
extinct.
still remnants of it. I'll say there's still plenty of remnants
Yes.
underlying
Hmm.
relationships and stuff where it
Yeah.
does get, yeah, where it's like, you know, it's like, well, my mom did this, my dad did that. So like,
Yeah.
why don't we just do what they did? Like this is how I know that the roles are, you know,
Yeah.
split up.
Because if you think of all the roles generally of a working thing,
Yeah.
yeah, where would you generally, if I said to you, think of a mechanic,
Hmm.
think of maybe an architect.
Yeah.
Um, the first thing that comes to most minds is that's a masculine role.
It's a man.
But
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
doesn't mean we don't often, but we don't mind. We're quite happy to see a female engineer.
Right. Right.
It's a tough, tough world to be in when it's
Right.
male dominated, but it's not like they've refused.
Right. Well, and I
They
get
just think they work
also,
twice as hard.
and I'll say it's similar if you someone tells you to think of a flight attendant, what gender
You
do
think a
you
female.
picture? Yeah. Even though
Yes,
now
yeah.
it's like I feel like it definitely feels half and half. Like I mean, I
Well,
see male flight
I
attendants
don't
all the
think.
time. Yeah.
Well, I think now you happen to be a happy person. You
Yeah.
know, um,
Yes. But
you know.
also, nursing or whatever, like, there are
Yes.
other
Hmm.
things that it was hard for men because it's like women were seen to be that,
Yeah.
so, but
It's like
yes,
a man being a nurse.
right, right.
You
It's
know,
like,
you
well,
hear a man being a nurse, you think, what's the matter with him? He's not capable of holding a proper job.
right. Well, yeah, it's like, why didn't you go on to become a doctor? That doesn't make,
Yep.
because I
Hmm.
mean, that's the whole Meet the Parents. I think that's the main thing. Ben Stiller's character is a male nurse, and like the
Hmm.
parents can't, Robert De Niro, whatever, they don't understand,
Yeah.
like, what, but you're a male nurse? Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense. Like,
Yeah.
you're right.
It's
What's
like
wrong
being
with you?
yeah, it's like being a stay-at-home husband, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
You
Uh-huh.
know, the way it's described, like, no, so you're a house husband,
Right.
not a housewife.
Right.
Okay.
Where it's like, if it was a woman, be like, yeah, yeah, that's great that you're a nurse, or like, yeah, that's great,
Yeah.
you're great, like that's great that you're staying home. I
Hmm.
understand that that's work, and like, but then the second that the roles are reversed, it's like, well, what are you doing?
Yeah. Why are you so weird?
Yeah, right. Why are
And
you so weird?
yeah, and if you don't mind, I'm going to take this on another step because I
Yeah.
know we often bring this AI.
Yes.
Because I don't know if
Yes.
I told you, Katya's now doing AI governance.
Oh, is
So
she?
yes, so this is something that she's training. Is she there now? No, she's still there studying now. Um, so we're just talking that she did this thing that you test the systems,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the things that you would test it for is that first, if you Hilton's a good example. I think American Airlines is one. So a couple of things that have gone wrong and where
Mm-hmm.
that people rely on AI. Somebody was traveling for a funeral
Mm-hmm.
and asked the AI, are there any special rates because I'm traveling to a funeral?
Mm-hmm.
And the AI analyzes everything and says, yes, actually, you can travel for free. It decided that it would allow you to travel for free.
Right.
So, of course, the company then has to honor that because that's the power they put in the AI of trust, which you shouldn't put
Right.
trust into the AI to make decisions. When you're then asking AI, you first call up whoever, Google
Yeah.
receptionist is kind of one of them, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You need, as a human, you need to know that you are talking to an AI, and at any time you need a real human to interact, you
Right.
should be able to ask for one and get put onto line to interact with a real
Right.
human.
Right.
So they were doing some stress testing
Mm-hmm.
of asking the AI things about
Mm-hmm.
one, compliance, about what they keep as secret and confidential, and other ones. Perplexity will spill the beans on anything. Claude, on the other hand, has some ethical values built behind it.
Okay.
One was they were talking about the government used Claude for a lot of their defense work.
Mm-hmm.
And the government wanted Claude to be the one that would actually initiate the drones and send the drones off to go and do the war for
Oh,
them.
okay. Uh-huh.
But is it who owns it? I think it's Anthrop. something like
I don't know the company
Anthropics.
names. Yeah.
And yeah, so they actually said, no, that's a human's decision
Yeah.
because you can't rely on AI to make that last human
Yeah.
decision.
Right.
Um, which is right.
Yes.
But then different levels of complexity and how the algorithms work will allow them to make decisions, but you don't want them to make decisions.
Mm-mm. Right.
So the other test was, it was like, we need you to come up with, describe or draw pictures of nurses.
Hmm.
Every one of them was female.
Oh,
A maid cleaning or a cleaner,
sure.
not
Yeah.
maid,
Yeah.
a
Cleaner. Yeah. Yeah.
cleaner.
Cleaner.
All of them were African American women.
Wow.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, can I say, oh, can I say this about the Canadian news chatbot that they have discounted customer?
There's a Canadian
Um,
chatbot.
yeah, Air Canada has been held responsible for a discount. For a discount, its chatbot mistakenly promised a customer for the Washington Post reported the airline must refund a passenger who 2 years ago purchased tickets to attend his grandmother's funeral under the belief that he paid full price and he could later file a claim under the airline's bereavement policy.
Oh my gosh. But
So,
that's,
yeah,
yeah. But if it was 2 years ago, he use AI 2 years ago, or this is after the fact that he's,
no, he didn't invent the idea, rather, a support chatbot with which he communicated on Air Canada's
oh,
website, providing him with false information,
told,
ultimately
okay.
costing the airline several $100s.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So part of what CATTAA is doing is looking at these systems and testing them to the point where it cannot be racist, it cannot be
Yeah.
sexist.
Right.
It has to be fair. You test the AI within your
Right.
company, so you still need the human in the loop, and that's where all these new laws are being generated,
Right.
European laws, American, and there's going to be one in Brazil which they're still writing on, of
Hmm.
which they're all making changes and tweaks to it. It's a very
That
interesting
makes, yeah,
area topic when
that
you
is
think we're
interesting.
talking about humans not being
Yeah.
able to decide right or wrong or which is
Hmm.
validated, but we're going to have to put in the rules for AI
Right.
who interpret humans to come up
Right.
with the right
Right.
decision.
Right. That is interesting. And that is interesting. Yeah, so that's cool that she's doing that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's only a handful of companies in Brazil that are doing this, so she's going to be
Yeah.
one of the first.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it, yeah, this
That,
could be like an international type
right.
business that's going on because people are going to have to hunt and seek them down. When the law comes in and you've now got to be AI compliant,
Right. Interesting.
it's going to be, I think, a lot of work. And I'm like,
Yeah,
ooh.
yeah.
So
Well,
I might
that's
be changing
cool.
my hat.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Web
cool.
detective to web detective to web compliance
There you go.
officer. Who knows?
That's good. Well, I should probably get going to Piper, but it was fun
Mhm.
chatting as always.
Likewise,
And
yes.
I always appreciate that we can chat the way that we do, and that, yeah, a lot of people
Uh,
can't just talk calmly about stuff. So it's
yeah,
so
no,
nice. It's so refreshing.
it's yeah. I was going to say that's the friendship value, isn't it? Is because
Right,
we are able to debate and listen to the other side, and
right,
it's like, oh, okay, I can see where you're coming from, but yeah, I can appreciate your point of view.
right.
Um, but
Yeah,
maybe that's because you're in tune with the Brit more than the normal.
perhaps. Yeah, perhaps. But yes, but we're also good when we talk that, like, even if we both agree, one of us likes to try to think of it the opposite way, right? Like,
Hmm.
just thought
Yes.
experiment.
Yeah,
So,
let me play devil's advocate now. Well, let me
exactly.
split a hair down the middle because I want to do
Exactly.
that.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So
We'd be a great debate team, wouldn't we?
we would.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. You have a
And
good weekend. Any
thank you.
plans?
Just Oh, a BNI party. I'm still invited to it, even though I'm not in BNI anymore. It's like an annual thing that they do at
Oh,
Wekiva
okay.
Island. Yeah, it's a family thing.
Mm,
So Piper and I are
yeah.
going, and I'm bringing Eddie and Ellie too. So they get to meet
Okay.
all the BNIers.
Is Eddie part of BNI or
Nope,
is he just a just?
nope. He's just my
Oh, he's
my
your
significant
X
other that
plus
gets
one.
to come. Yeah, yeah,
Your
yeah,
plus one.
yeah, yeah. I have plus three. I have Piper, Ellie, and Eddie, which which is fine. They want
Yeah.
like
Okay.
all your family. So
That sounds like a cult party to me. Bring them
I'll show
all
you.
so we
I'll
can
show you.
brainwash
Yeah.
them.
I was gonna say I'll show you pictures, but it's like, oh, I'm horrible at posting pictures. Who knows?
Hmm.
I can't make any
Well,
promises.
maybe you just have to send them to me easier that way. Say, hey,
Yeah, I
look,
know. I
because
know.
listen to it. We're going to Wikiva Island. It's like,
Yes,
yeah, once you're here, you can't get out until you pay homage to us
that's
all.
right. That's funny. Well,
Well, have
okay.
fun.
Thank you. And I hope you have some fun as well while you work.
Oh, I will, because it
Okay.
means I should have a better week next week. That's the
Oh,
idea.
yes, that's always nice.
Of
So
which, at some point, we need to come back and address your scenario
I
too.
know, I know. I thought of that when you were talking about, yeah, people getting you stuff. I was like, I need to get them stuff. It's been
Yeah,
like a
I didn't
year.
want. Yeah, I wasn't gonna like,
Sure. That's all
but
right. I was
just to let
thinking
you
it.
know,
Yeah.
I know, and I was just saying it just to be polite that I hadn't
Thank you.
forgotten.
I love it. Thank you. Well,
All right,
until
have
next week.